So this was something that people were getting a riot out of yesterday. I was gonna stream longer, but then if you were here yesterday, it got cut off because my girl was getting mad at me. I was late for a dinner. She's like stormed out of here. She's like, I'm leaving. She took the car, and I'm like, wait, just wait downstairs. So I ran down after cutting the stream. But anyway, so like Osamason posted on his Instagram story his influences. Okay, he put Thug, Young Thug, Future, 2 Atlanta Goats, Cardi, obviously, because every new rapper is inspired by Cardi at this point, just because he runs the new music wave. Sosa, Chief Keef, also a valid answer, because he, you know, Chief Keef is like cemented as one of the biggest influences just for like the SoundCloud generation, everything. He influenced like Uzi and even Cardi originally, so that makes sense. My inspos, for real, fuck you if you feel some type of way about it. Slat. You had to end it with Slat. That's his signature. Slat. But one thing he missed out, one name. And I'm not even hating on it, because y'all know I like Osamason. But yo, how are you gonna not put Ken Carson, bro? Now, the only reason I think he left Ken Carson out, and before we get into that, if you see some of Osamason's recent pics, I don't know how I came across it. I was just on Twitter randomly, but like a lot of his pics are not just his cover arts. Like they're the exact recreation of like old Playboy Cardi photos. I don't know if y'all have noticed this. It's crazy, but it's working because obviously he's going up off that, and that's like his whole shtick right now. Hopefully he gets past it, because eventually you can't just be riding off other people. And I think he does have good music, so especially with that pop song, I love that from his last album. But the only reason I think he left Ken Carson off this was because the whole situation with like Ken Carson allegedly blackballing producers from working with Osamason. Now, Ken told me that wasn't true. He doesn't even really like know any of the producers he works with. Don't know if that's true necessarily, but I believe Ken, because he was calling me off like a fucking 17th phone, being like, yo, I don't even got Instagram on this phone. Like he doesn't, like he's not on social media like that. None of them are, or at least maybe they are on like Finstas or whatever, but I don't know. The type of producers that Ken Carson's with is probably like the Opium people, and the Opium people probably aren't sending beats to, no offense, underground rappers, Osamason. So, and then I think Wildcard Uno started that rumor, and it's like Ken didn't even know who Wildcard Uno was, because he still is very underground to this day. So given that whole beef or blackballing that may or may not have actually happened, Osamason was probably like butthurt about it and was like, I'm not gonna put Ken Carson on this shit purposely, so that, and he probably knew that people were gonna get mad about that, being like, how are you not gonna put Ken Carson on there? Because he definitely does the yeah flow that Ken Carson created, basically. But yeah, the give right there. Future always on every list. Yeah, he's a goat. Future is like all-time, one of my all-time goats. But Ken cannot be influential yet, bro. He already was. He definitely was an influence of Osamason. Let's not be cap here. Like, it's literally obvious. Even the beat style, we still like Osamason, or at least I like Osamason, but you can't leave him out of it. Ken uses Starboy, Lil 88, and other Opium producers. You got Osama in your name, so are you like a fan of him? Do you know if Osamason works with the, like, let's see this. Maybe if we check like Genius with the producer credits, are there any other producers that it would sound like that? All-Star. Yeah, see, I don't think that they have the same producers, so I don't know why Ken Carson, or how Ken Carson would like try and blackball him. Because you can, no offense to the producers, because I think producers, y'all know, they run the sound basically of like what is next to come, because they are the ones that like, it all starts from the beat. Okay, so all my credit goes to the producers. However, if like you can still make a hit off of YouTube beats, so he could go on like Ken Carson type beats or whatever and like still rep the same sound that Ken Carson is on. So like that, I don't even know if blackballing from certain producers is really a thing. Like, and YouTube producers are goats too, so I'm not like retracting from their value at all either, but it just doesn't make sense. Legion, who does Legion work with? Oh, okay. Well, maybe y'all are on to something then, because he was quite frankly on A Great Chaos, which was Ken Carson's last album. So maybe he was telling Legion, yo, stop working with him real quick, because he got shit with Destroy Lonely as well. Interesting. Also, I could imagine that Ken and like Opium, they might feel a certain type of way that Osamason basically is using them for clout. And I think that's impressive that he actually pulled it off, because a lot of people try and do that and it doesn't work. But that, you know, they're not monetizing from it, or they're not benefiting from it at all. Maybe the Opium sound and like aesthetic goes up a little bit more just because like it shows that they're that influential. But, you know, he's not signed to them, Osamason. So I feel like they could feel some sort of way about what's going on, but he's doing it right. Osamason's definitely killing it. Like, everybody wants to be Osamason in the underground right now, because whether you like his music or not, like marketing wise, he's got that shit on point. But the real question is, and I get this all the time, and I wanted to see what y'all thought. Let's go back to Osamason picture just for the aesthetic. So whenever I talk to anybody about new artists, they're like, yeah, Osamason's cool, but what is the ceiling for his career? Because if your main influence, regardless of what he said on this Instagram story, is Ken Carson, or like you're kind of, you know, using the sound a little bit, if Ken Carson is like the ceiling, like, is it possible for him, or is it even worth it for an artist to try and, you know, build a career where the ceiling is Ken Carson's big, don't get me wrong, but like if you're getting influenced by like a Future or like a Drake or like a Cardi or whatever, like they already got tens of millions of followers, so that's kind of a valid thing to copy or be influenced by, because even if you get halfway, you got 5 million followers and you're pushing millions of monthly listeners, so like you'll still be able to make a ton of money. And they got so much music out, they're cemented in the industry, whereas Ken Carson hasn't been out for that long. So what does Osamason have right now, like monthly listeners? He got like 300K, it looks like. So he's still probably making good money. I mean, I told y'all before, I heard that he got what, like $1 million advance, or not advance, deal from Rolling Loud, or maybe it was less, I don't know. Whatever it was, I think it was like 300 or 100 for advanced marketing, whatever. But even if you get 100K advance, like that's money, bro. That's money. If you got 300K monthly listeners, and I'm not saying that they're not going to be listening to like all your songs all the time, but those people are, a lot of them are likely repeat. So that means he's probably getting like, I don't know, at least like 1-2 million streams on Spotify alone. There's like a software you can get that you can pay for where you can see like the total amount of streams on every platform, but that's just Spotify. So that's like, you know, $4,500 per million. So that's 9K plus YouTube plus Apple Music. So let's say like he's making at least 15 racks a month, at least, that he's recouping after he did the 100K advance or whatever it ended up being. And so like, you know, he's doing well, he's killing it. I like the last album, it was decent.